Hello and welcome to TB3 Sports Talk, episode 110. A little TB3 radio this week. Don't have a camera, but we're so excited to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning and some news around the Bay. So we just had to get an episode in, and excited to be here. I'm with Joel and Colby. I'm Will, and I think the biggest news: Tampa Bay Lightning. They're just red hot as of late. 11-game win streak. And it just seems like, everything's going right for them. They're all playing well. They're all playing for each other. There is some news on the injury front, but despite that, man, it doesn't look like they can be stopped, and they've just continued to find ways to win. How are you guys doing?
I mean, that's in the midst of injuries, too. Like, Hedman's out, McDonough's out. Looks like Point's going to be out for a few weeks here, and yet they keep it going. Next man up. And sometimes that bends, but, it hasn't so far for us. Like, we haven't broken one bit. 10 games going for the record Friday night. Lord willing, let's see us get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and just to think, got to give so much credit to the guy in charge. I think this could end up being one of John Cooper's, best coaching jobs with, like you mentioned, the injuries, the new players, whether they're young or, maybe little-known free agents that were signed that have been worked into the Lightning's lines. And I think he got up to 600 wins this past week, correct?
Yeah.
In 1,000 games?
Yes. Both of those. Fun stat, he now has as many wins as all the previous Lightning coaches combined.
I saw that.
Cool.
That's awesome. He is truly one of the best, coaches in Tampa sports history. He's one of the best coaches in the NHL. I mean, I think he's coming on that border of being one of the best coaches in NHL history. You think about his Olympic pedigree that he has, or international, I should say, that he has, and is probably going to continue to build the multiple Stanley Cups, and the multiple Stanley Cups with a franchise that's not exactly known as a hockey powerhouse until he comes around. I know he had the one Stanley Cup, but still, what John Cooper has done has been amazing, and I think this really could, if this Lightning team can make a deep run and kind of get out of their playoff funk, which I know that's a long time down the road. This could be one of Cooper's best coaching jobs. And
it's a crime about that? He's never won the Jack Adams Award, the coach of the year in the NHL. He's never won that award, and that's a crime.
Yeah,
it's 100% a crime. But yeah,
I don't know how you don't. I know it's a regular season award. I don't know how you don't win that in 2019 when you're setting win records, and then in 2020, I get it's a regular season, but for to think about what he did with that team after such an embarrassing first round defeat, I mean, he deserves that recognition. Hopefully, he can add that to his trophy case this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think he will. He's the longest tenured coach in hockey right now, so I imagine he has to start getting some recognition from around the league.
You'd think so, but at this point, like what Colby said, all the stuff he's done with the Lightning, it's like if he hasn't won it already.
But now he has the hierarchy, there's not you got to give it to so and so over here. He's been coaching 15 years, and this guy over here has only been coaching 7, so he's now top dog on the list. I would imagine.
Yeah, we'll see. He definitely deserves it, and he's deserved it before. We're just gonna go through 3 games from last Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Starting off with the Flyers. This was Saturday on January 10th. A huge win. They win that game 7-2. Kucherov, man, started off with a nice assist from Braden Point. And after the first period, it was 2-1 after he scored his second goal of the game. Also assisted by Point. Two nice little passes and assists from Point there. Second period, kind of a stalemate for the most part, but Nick Paul did get an extra goal to make it 3-1. And then, man, the third period was where the Lightning were on fire. 2 goals from Gage Gonsalves. Yanni Gourde got one in instead of Brandon Hagel to make it 7-2. And I just think the biggest thing in that game was just getting an early lead. And I know a lot of people said before the game that it was going to be kind of pretty tight defensively. But what's been so good about the Lightning is getting that early lead. You build on top of it. And the Flyers had to kind of lax on defense a little bit, and it just opened up for the Lightning. They were creating excellent chances all throughout the game, and a lot of it was just beating the defense, catching them sleeping. a lot of nice passes into the Flyers zone. So that was kind of the big thing for me there. You guys got any thoughts on the game?
Man, the fact that they didn't pull the goalie in this one's crazy. Like, I mean, you kind of saw his face there in the third period, and the guys on TV were like, "Yeah, he's just gonna have to wear this one." It's like, man, I would hate to be in his shoes in that moment. Just time after time there in that third period, like going great, and then third period it just explodes.
Yeah, well, I think that's just in part of the offensive attack from the Lightning in this game is just. I just think they knew the writing was on the wall there that this was just going to be a Lightning win. And yeah, I don't know. I guess pulling the goalie.
I mean, there's just something of it where it's like you do it to keep him out of, it's like, it's all right, you'll get him next time. And then the team kind of has a burst of like, all right, we're good. New goalie. We got this. We're gonna get it for the new guy. But I mean, not in this game.
Yeah. Colby, you have any thoughts on it?
Man, a scoring explosion, and Nikita Kucherov. I mean, just so impressive. I mean, again, he really, I would say, a bit of a slow start this season, but I mean, he's really picked it up. I think, at this point, I think he's up to 8 or 9 games with multiple points in a row. So he really, really has been playing, good puck, and he's being the leader on this team. And again, I've always been a fan of early goals, and for him to get 2 first period goals in this game is very, very impressive. And for him to lead the charge for the Lightning is huge. And I think it's a big reason why they're able to win this one.
Yeah, I want to say his multi-point streak ended against the
Pittsburgh,
Penguins.
And I think it got up to.
It was at 9. Yeah. It was at 9. So yeah, he's that's what you want. You want your stars to be stars, and I think too you can't take away from what Braden Point did in that game. I mean, getting the nice turnover and plus territory there to assist the Cooch to take the 1-0 lead, and then another great pass from him. So. 2 guys who were working great together, and then that kind of ended pretty quickly this week. As we head to the next game against the Flyers, this was on Monday, the 12th. Yeah, I thought this one started a little more. This was more of a defensive battle, especially in the first period, kind of what we expected from Game 1. But
yeah, you adjust at game 1. You're like, all right, now Game 2 it's more defensive oriented because you've adjusted.
But again, what's worked so well for the Lightning in this stretch is getting to an early lead, and that was from the Girgensons, Holmberg, and Yanni Gourde line. They started the scoring with 1:10 into the first period as we keep going here. So they were off to a 1-0 start. Let me get to...
I just want to say this game, I was at Whiskey Wings, some of you guys, the local people, you guys know about Whiskey Wings. Saturday night, I got, Panthers, Rams, a great NFL football game, and then I got Lightning and Flyers on, the other screen. And every single time I looked away from the Lightning game, they're scoring. I don't think I saw one of these goals with my 2 eyes. They just scored when I wasn't looking. I feel like that happens a lot with hockey. Maybe
you got to look more, man.
Apparently, I was just kind of in awe with what Bryce Young was doing out of the blue. But I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of scoring against this Flyers team, that's for sure. But yeah, as I mentioned, Pontus Holmberg, he got it off early, and then again it kind of went defensively, but then the Lightning just picked up where they left off the day before. It started with Jake Gensel right away into the second period, and then Braden Point would make it 3-0, but that's when he just, kind of just the unfortunate injury. He scores the goal on the power play, and the Flyers player falls into his knee. You can tell it twists the wrong way. It goes kind of sideways, buckles a bit, and he was off immediately. And the Flyers were able to answer to make it 3-1, but then Brandon Hagel at the end of the period makes it 4-1 off the power play, and then the third, an empty netter from Cooch to make this game 5-1. Yeah, I think the biggest thing there was the Braden Point injury in this game. That really stinks. And he's just been, John Cooper said he's just really turned a corner this season, and just his production. So it sucks they're going to lose him. Some notes on Braden Point. John Cooper kind of shot down anything that he would be out for the rest of the year. After imaging and some medical assessments, he says they avoided the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what that means. I assume probably with the knee, probably avoided an MCL tear, ACL tear, something like that. So that's a good sign. He's currently week to week, and he wasn't ruled out for the Winter Olympics in Italy, which starts, I think, for Team Canada. That would be first game's February 13th, I want to say.
Sounds about right.
So he's not ruled out for
That's
that.
right
So
around the corner.
I think that'll be kind of the big thing, is to see whether he suits up for Team Canada.
If nothing else, we're keeping him fresh for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this
I
is,
mean, like, add to the salary cap. Could we do another 2020 Cooch?
is this bad for Lightning fans? Maybe. Is it bad for Lightning fans who are also Team USA fans? No, not at all. It's actually pretty good for Lightning fans who are Team USA fans. But, I hate to see that for point. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of pride for all these guys playing for the home country in the Olympics. And while he hasn't been ruled out, I just, with the nature of the injury, and the nature of, how people have been talking about it, the reports going around, I just don't see him, making it back for the Olympics, which, sucks for point. Maybe it gives USA a better chance to win, but it still sucks for point,
Yeah, it really does. And, I know probably a lot of people are thinking, like, why would he play in the Olympics? He's being paid by the Lightning and this and that. But you got to think, I mean, even if it's Canada, there's no, bigger opportunity than to represent your home country and throw on the uniform and the flag. So, if he misses, it's good for the Lightning. If he still plays, I think you just kind of have to understand. I think the biggest thing would just to avoid, worsening the injury or anything like that. That's really.
And who knows? That might be like a good stint to nurse, come back from the injury, kind of nurse your way back in, and then you're full and ready to go timing wise for when you get back to the Lightning.
Yeah, because you're gonna see plenty of NHL speed in those games and stuff like that. So it would be kind of good to keep him fresh, especially when it's still a couple weeks away, and I don't expect him to be back on the Lightning before that. So yeah, that could be some good tune-up for him too if he plays. That's a good point. This game, just to add a couple notes here, fun little fight. Crozier, Max Crozier, and Nick Paul got in the fight at the same time. Crozier laid a couple swings, couple hard punches.
I was like, he got a good hit on him in that. He got a really good hit on him. Yeah,
punches in there. I thought that was good. And, yeah, man, Hagel went down in this game too, which was a little devastating because I thought, oh, man, how with all the injuries the Lightning have suffered this season, how awful would it be if they lose Hagel and play in the same game? But he came back and then scored on the power play, so that was pretty awesome. But, yeah, I think that's all I got on this game. A nice little back-to-back belt to the Philadelphia Flyers.
Flyers do not want to see us anytime soon, that's for sure. But yeah, let's get on to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Tuesday, January 13th, they went to Pittsburgh to play the Penguins and Sidney Crosby. I almost said Max Crosby, future Buccaneers. We'll see. I just thought with this, obviously, I think the biggest thing with how well Point was playing is you didn't want to see the offensive production go down. And I know if you look at the box score, you go, wow, that's exactly what happened. But I think it's just one of those where, man, they were coming up with some good shots, some good scoring attempts, and they were really dominant in the Penguins zone. I mean, I think it was like halfway through the first there. I mean, they're just shuffling around like they're almost on the power play, but it's 5-on-5. Like, that's just how dominant they were. They just couldn't get anything to land. Nick Paul went up there to the first line to replace Braden Point, but they just couldn't get anything going. Pittsburgh kind of started to figure out the Lightning's defense. I thought their defense wasn't that great this game. But again, we go into the third period, ended 0-0. And the Lightning come up with a big goal there at the 5 minutes left in the third period.
Who scored that? Because we have to give him some props.
Yeah, that was J.J. Moser.
That was a goal and a half right there because everybody in the building thought that goal was covered, saved, goalie had it, and then bada bing, bada boom, goal goes in. It's like that. I mean, he deserves all the flowers in the world for that one.
Yeah, just a heads up play,
especially in the timing of the game too. Like 4 minutes left, like we're going to overtime. Oh no, we ain't.
Yeah, it looked like he froze the puck, but he didn't have control of it. It was just kind of sitting right in front of him, and what everybody else kind of wrapped up the play. J.J. Moser heads up, knows the whistle wasn't blown, and just banks it in. So that was a great heads up play for him. But yeah, less than 3 minutes later, the Penguins come right back. I thought in that moment, there just wasn't enough urgency to clear the puck out of their zone. The Penguins went really early into the 6-on-5, the empty net. And I just don't think there was enough urgency to get the puck out of there, especially from Gensel. Lets it get turned over. And the Penguins capitalize, so we go to overtime. And, man, Andrei Vasilevsky, man, really saved the Lightning a lot of times in this game. And I think, how many times have we said that? That's just, why you have them, why you pay the big bucks. But comes with some big saves in overtime. I thought overtime wasn't that great for the Lightning. They had a chance or two, but it was really, I'd say, more Penguins. There was a huge breakaway that he had to stop. So, yeah, we were lucky, I think, to get out of that overtime. And then, the shootout, man. Gonsalves gets hit the first shot, and then Kucherov, smooth as butter, ends it to win 2-1 in the shootout. Bazzi, again, with some more saves there in the shootout. So, another win for the Lightning. It wasn't pretty, but again, it's just finding ways to win. That's what's so impressive about this team. And, I think we can get more into that unless you guys have any more thoughts about.
I was watching the post game, and Coop kind of said that, like you said, like it's really fun when the puck's bouncing your way and stuff like that, and you're finding ways to win. I think I was glad that he kind of saw it that way. Like he was just saying, like this is fun, like enjoy it while you have it. Everything's going right, whether we're getting injured or not. This is something special, and we'll remember this. Like that was kind of the consensus of his post game press conference. So I was kind of glad to see how much he's enjoying this.
6-3 in overtime this year for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's a far cry from what it was a couple years ago. That's for sure. I feel like Vazzy has just been dynamite this season, really, really good. But I feel like he's been extra locked in for overtime periods. I mean, to just think about the amount of enormous saves he's had in overtime games. You think back to that, just amazing play against the Oilers in November that set up the Lightning win, and an amazing save. And I just think Vazzy has really turned it up a notch, as the season has progressed, especially during this stretch of play, but even in overtime. And that's helped the Lightning have double the amount of wins as losses in overtime this season, which is huge, in the grind of a long season.
Yeah, he's been playing absolutely lights out, but it's kind of routine at this point, and again, I think it just adds just another level. Again, when you're playing so well on every side of the ice, offensively, defensively, and then again when it might not go your way, when you're not getting pucks to the net and you're not playing so well defensively, Vazzy's there to save the day. He's there to stand on his head and go into the full splits. That's he is playing well for sure. I want to go into just a little bit of kind of the winning streak, and I kind of want to bring my points up. Why they're so hot right now? Why are they doing it right now? And I think it's a lot of things. I think the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but the first thing I have is they're 17-4-3 on the road this season.
Wow!
Can you tell me how many road wins they had last season?
Probably like
17.
21.
18. So right now, we still got a couple months left to play. They need one more win on the road to tie their total from last year. So that's a huge turnaround.
Yeah.
Road Warriors. You're not on home ice. You don't have that home ice advantage, but you're still finding ways to win on the road. That's a huge thing. I don't know if we mentioned it before, but did we talk about the franchise record here, the 11-game win streak?
I think we mentioned it, but
we kind of hinted at it. We just didn't say when it happened, or like we did. We said it was Stanley Cup. We tied it. Now we're trying to go for the lead.
We did.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that is no small feat, and that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a phenomenal winning streak, and it does remind you of kind of the dominance that you saw from those early 2020s Lightning teams.
Yeah, I think, like we said, the last time they've done this, they're Stanley Cup champions, and I just think the way they're playing right now. And you look at it, too, I mean, that 11-game win streak in 2020, that was January 29th to February 17th. And we're pretty close to right around that same time frame. A couple weeks later, this would have happened in the season. But I think for some of those people who are like, maybe they peaked too early and this and that. Well, you look at it again, that season got canceled halfway through the year, and they didn't play till the fall to finish that season. So it's just I think it doesn't matter whether they're getting hot at the right time. They're hot right now. They've needed it, at least for the Atlantic. I want to get to the standings too, but this quote really sums it up the best for me from John Cooper. He says, just a tons of buy-in, great group, leaders, phenomenal. Check a lot of boxes, things you want in a team. Guys are being rewarded. And like you said, Joel, it's a lot of fun. And I think the biggest thing, that's buying in. And it starts with, the second, the third, the fourth lines. Those guys, your bottom 6 guys, they have really turned it up and played phenomenal. You look at Darren Radish, man.
Dog.
When would I ever say, Darren Radish is...
Dude, what's Darren Radish on? Oh, he's on a contract here. Magically becomes...
We'll take it.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's working. I mean, 12 goals, 39 points.
I'm going to start a team, and I'm just going to sign people on contract years. I'm going to win. Literally, I'm just going to sign.
It would be smart. Yeah, it would be smart. But you can't deny the numbers at least right now. 12 goals, 39 points, 12 points over his last 7 games. Charlie Edward Diastu, 5 points in his last 8 games. You've gotten solid minutes from Max Crozier, Declan Carlisle. I mean, you just have these young guys, this young core starting to turn up, starting to play better. And I think, not so many young guys, but more of your bottom 6. I mean, I mentioned them earlier, but that Holmberg, Gord, and Gergenson's line has just played lights out. And I think that's just a huge reason why they're so successful, because they're great defensively, and then they are just attacking the other team's zone. I mean, they are putting up shots, they're keeping the puck, and you look at some of the teams they've played and some of the stars, like you look at the Avalanche game, they shut down Nathan McKinnon. You look at the Oilers game, they shut down McDavid, and you even look, last night they shut down Sidney Crosby. I mean, these guys have just put in a ton of work, and that's a big reason, why they've been so successful. So that's your guys buying in. You look at leader's been phenomenal. Cooch is on fire. Braden Point, till he got hurt, was on fire. Hagel's playing great. So you have all those things going well for them. And I think a big thing for me, too, is why they've been so successful. So in this 11-game win streak, 53 goals for, 26 goals against. That's pretty insane. But the key stat of this is that 43 of those goals have been 5-on-5. So they've been playing phenomenal 5-on-5. And, we've always looked at the Lightning. They're so great on the power play. And it's not even like the power play is bad. They're still hitting at a 28% clip. They're just dominant in 5-on-5. They don't need the penalties. So, I mean, you look at those reasons for this 11-game win streak, and it gets you excited. And I think I was listening to Eric Erlitzson, the Lightning insider that does a great job. He's on the radio, and he was talking about in 2004 with Tortorella, and he's saying about that Stanley Cup team that, he wouldn't, even have to say anything to those guys, right? He would just open the door, and they were coming in and ready to play. And I think that's kind of where we're getting to with this Lightning team. With Coach Cooper, he's saying it's fun. Like, these guys are ready to go. They're bought in, and everybody's stepping up. Point goes down. Victor Hedman, you look at McDonough. All these guys have gotten hurt. I mean, you look at Vazzy was hurt. At least you could just pick a star on this team, and they've missed some time. But everybody's stepping up and finding a way to win, doing what it takes. Next man up mentality. So
I think
no, go ahead.
I think a lot of that has to do with coaching as well. They've simplified so much of the game because of all these injuries, where they are bringing up these guys from the junior leagues, and they have to keep it as easy as can be for those guys. And for whatever reason, and I give all the credit to the coaching on that, it's worked exponentially upon this team for this run. It's really been amazing to watch. And I hope we continue it. Like, it's the simpler the better. Like, if the guy coming up from, what was it, Norwalk or whatever, if he can come up and understand it, then the Victor Hedmans and the McDonoughs will be able to do it as well.
Is it any coincidence that the Lightning defense and their scheme looks a lot more competent, the year that Jeff Blashill leaves and becomes the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks? I know there's a lot of people that really that maybe know hockey a little bit better than me that were very, very frustrated with Jeff Blashill. He came in, I think it was during that 2022 season. Had some really good players, but he's been kind of that side almost that's not the verbiage, but like defensive coordinator for John Cooper. All these years that the Lightning have been bounced in the first round. Now he's the head coach of the Blackhawks, but maybe that was a blessing in disguise for the Lightning because, again, like you said, Joel, they've been able to simplify and have the right pairings and philosophies that match their roster on the ice, and that has been very beneficial for them.
The Blackhawks are a 500 team right now, so maybe.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting point. Maybe it's because Lilleberg's not playing.
That is a scary thing, though. I mean, like, we're doing really good with like without Hedman and McDonough right now. So, like, what do you do when they come back? Like, it's the age-old question: is it going to mess up a good thing? Like, could you trade one of those guys potentially? Like that. I mean, I know we just re-signed McDonough, but like, you don't want to mess up a good thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But those guys are so solid.
I don't know. Like anytime like McDonough came back, I felt like we like lost 2 or 3 because I think this is the second time he's been hurt this season. When he came back, it kind of rocked the boat a little bit.
I get that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I do think there's going to be some interesting things for Breezewell to figure out and what's the moves going forward because obviously you got the break, right? You got the Olympic break coming up. You do have guys hurt right now, so it's really interesting to see what they do at the trade deadline. And again, with the cap the way it is for the Lightning, obviously we're right up there at reaching our limit.
But if points are hurt till the postseason,
I don't know if that'll work because I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if they fixed it yet.
Well, I think a lot of injuries might affect who we get at the trade deadline. I think that's a big thing to think about. But it's a good problem to have. Can you be buyers and sellers at the trade deadline and also take that team to the next level? And you got to look at right now with the standings. I mean, it's crazy to think that this is the longest win streak at any point in the NHL this season. And you look at the Atlantic Division, and everybody's all right there at the top.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to show how the start of the season was.
I know. But yeah, the Lightning, they're atop the Atlantic Division with 61 points, but then the Red Wings, they're right there at 60.
In our defense, we have 3 games in hand on the Red Wings.
Mm-hmm. Canadians they're sniffing the top as well. Bruins are at 54. Leafs are at 53. I mean, it is a tough division this year. Even look, Panthers and Senators, man. I mean, they're still not out of it. So, we'll see. It's some interesting things for this team going forward as far as the trade deadline.
My last thing on the Lightning is I'm so thankful that the Avalanche are as good as they are right now because they're going to be forced to the President's Trophy, and we don't have to deal with the President's Trophy curse this year.
Yeah.
Amen.
Because, as of right now, we have the second most points in hockey right now, but they're
And who gave the Avalanche just their 4th regulation loss of the season? The Tampa Bay Lightning last week. So.
And that was insane because before the game, I'm like looking at it, it's like, am I seeing this right? They're 31-3.
Yeah,
like that's just so insane to me.
Yeah, they're balling. Really.
The East has all the talent, man.
It's jumbled up. It's a mess.
It really is. Playoffs. I mean, like you're probably gonna get 2 teams from the East who have better records than some of the guys in the West, and they'll miss the playoffs.
That Pacific Division's rough right now.
And
that's always terrible.
True.
Yeah. That's part of the problem with the Avalanche right now. I know when we were watching the game, they said a couple of their players are out right now, and just looking at their last 5, they've lost 3 of their last 5. The Maple Leafs got them too.
Well, NHL, fix your playoff format. I'm going to say it again.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
It should be 1 through 8 based on points. It shouldn't be the top 3 from each division because, again, it's been my gripe has been the Pacific because you get these doo-doo teams from there that go in, and then again, like you look at how it's worked, especially for like the Lightning too, is where you take the top 3 from the Atlantic, and then you have to play each other right away. So, like, we're always playing the Panthers or the Leafs. So we get a way tougher position than if it would just be in order from 1 to 8, you know. I do agree. I think they got to change that. But, yeah, look ahead.
Yeah.
As we close out, your Lightning will be on the road this Friday, January 16th at the Blues. That'll be at 8 p.m. Sunday at 2 o'clock. They are at the Dallas Stars.
I love Sunday
Dallas
hockey around this time of year.
Stars. Yeah, it is nice.
It's nice. It's like the void. The void's been filled. Thank you, Lightning.
And then probably before we film, the last game that we'll have to talk about, Tuesday, January 20th versus the San Jose Sharks, 7 p.m.
I'm going to go out and say it, guys. The streak ends on Friday. They're going to lose to the Blues.
No.
They're going to lose the Blues, and then they're going to...
under 500, man. Come on.
I just don't feel like they're going to break it. And then they will also lose to the Stars and then beat the Sharks.
Sheesh. What happened to the Jolly Roger from last week?
I'm just saying. I just winning. Anytime I really get excited about a winning streak, it gets crushed.
We finally start talking some hockey, and you're out here crushing our dreams.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. This Lightning team, they are just finding ways to win. Team find a way. And I guarantee you one thing. If that bum Jordan Binnington is in the net for the Blues, I guarantee a Lightning victory. I guarantee it. He's a bum. He is an absolute bum. He's washed. Get him out of the NHL. I cannot stand him. I hate Jordan Binnington. I hate him with every fiber of my being. If he's in net, Bolts by 8. So I think they get the win, and they'll get their 12th. They'll kind of go like, we got it. So they'll play a little slow against the Stars. They'll probably lose that one. Then they'll beat the Sharks at home. So they'll go 2-1.
You read my mind. That's the exact record I was going to give game for game.
All right. So, again, tune into the Lightning. Big game Friday night. Looking to secure the longest streak, a winning streak in franchise history. Before we go, we should mention the team that is got the big fat E next to their name, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We mentioned that last week Todd Bowles will remain the Tampa Bay Bucs head coach. I don't know. Joel's conspiracy theory is still alive.
I got everything written out. Whenever you want my soapbox, I'll get it out.
Well, I mean, so what are the Bucs trading to get Mike Tomlin?
Didn't he resign? How much contract?
No,
how much contract does he have?
He's under the contract. So if they want him this year, which Adam Schefter did report that it's pretty safe to say that he will not be coaching this cycle. So maybe you just have to wait till next offseason to implement your plan, Joel.
I always give you the John Gruden era.
Yeah.
It's not a done deal for me until January 22nd.
Yeah.
January 22nd is when
trade?
the Glazers will say, nope, we can't go past our original John Gruden firing era. So January 22nd, after that, I'll close the book on any conspiracy theories that I have. But
and they had the trade
recognize the Glazers haven't come out and said anything. We've only been getting these things out of beat writers.
Yeah, because they're idiots. They
suck.
So,
something smells a little bit like Mike Tomlin. I think I'm smelling a little Mike Tomlin. We stink at the draft anyways. What's a couple number ones?
We are good at the draft. Not great. Anyways.
Our pick's not that high this year. Let's do it.
It's the highest we've had in a while. 15. That sounds like a good spot to get an edge rusher, if you ask me, or maybe an inside linebacker. Anyways.
You traded for Max Crosby.
I would do that.
Never trades his picks.
First round, second round, and another second round.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So they couldn't trade for Mike Tomlin because Jason Licht does not trade.
Yeah, it's
You'd
true.
have to send first for Mike Tomlin. He won't do that. He will not do that for Mike Tomlin.
You know how mad I would be if we traded the first round pick for Mike Tomlin? I would be
I would
so
be singing
upset.
from the rooftops.
Oh my gosh,
I'd be pretty furious.
I'd be so mad.
Bring him home.
But
what does
bring him home.
Tomlin do that Bowles
He's a winner.
can't?
He's a winner.
Literally,
I don't care.
Tomlin,
I don't care about
Bowles.
any of the playoff stuff. That's a bad. You need to change the scenery.
Mike Tomlin is Todd Bowles, but wearing sunglasses.
He's
That's Todd Bowles.
He's Todd Bowles, but has won the last 20 seasons and has 2 Super Bowls. I don't care how long ago.
You have to go 20 years back. Yeah.
But think about it. He took over a Super Bowl team with a Hall of Fame quarterback. And every single year, that team has just gotten progressively worse. Wasted Ben Roethlisberger's prime. I mean,
if he had only won 1, I would give you that. But the fact that he won 2, you got to give him some
one.
props. Did he win the 05 one? I think
No,
he
that
won
was
one.
Cower.
Okay.
That was Cower.
You're probably right, but if he won 2, then you got to give him some love.
I mean, for me, I put more stock in Todd Bowles winning a defensive,
Yep, you're right.
winning a Super Bowl.
He only won their one. You're all right on that.
As a DC than Mike Tomlin winning a Super Bowl 15 years ago. But we're gonna our conspiracy theory is done for right now.
Tinfoil hats.
Maybe just for right now.
Until January 22nd.
Until January 22nd. But the Bucs did make some staff changes. We kind of hinted towards this last week, but the Bucs have fired their offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard. They have fired their special teams coordinator Thomas McGahee. They have fired smell you later, never come back to Tampa Bay Charlie Strong, and they have also fired Kevin Patrick, their defensive backs head coach. Their safeties coach Nick Rapone has retired, and then rest in peace, GOAT. Tom Moore has retired as well, the offensive analyst. Some big overhauls. The one I think we're just going to talk about real briefly is the offensive coordinator position. The Bucs have been busy, interviewing with quite a few different, candidates. The ones that have been recent have been the biggest fish on the market. It was announced today that the Bucs will interview Mike McDaniel on Friday. For their offensive coordinator role. Today, the Bucs interviewed former Ravens offensive coordinator and Georgia offensive coordinator Todd Monken. They've also interviewed the Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka, Cardinals quarterback coach Israel Wolfork, former Stanford head coach David Shaw, and Lions offensive pass game coordinator, Falcons offensive coordinator Zach Robinson, former Titans head coach Brian Callahan, and that is about right now. Hot take on Callahan, I wouldn't mind it. He did a lot. He did a lot of good things in Cincinnati, and that offense has looked a lot worse since he left there. It seemed like he was. I know Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are good, and Joe Burrow's good, but man, it seemed like he made a way for those guys to be wide open a lot of times to get one-on-one matchups.
Fair, yeah.
I would not be opposed to Brian Callahan. Obviously, in my opinion, and I think a lot of us will share this opinion, Mike McDaniel is option number one. He has interviewed for some other head coaching gigs, but his creativity on offense, his ability to establish a run game while also having a creative and spread out offense is pretty special. And also having a former head coach as your offensive coordinator can make it where he's able to kind of have full control of the offense and be comfortable doing that, as opposed to just the offensive coordinator who is stepping up from a role. The Bucs did interview, I think, Rams pass game quarterback Nathan Shieldhouse is the only one that I did not.
I haven't seen his name. Maybe they have. But
he might be just linked, or I don't know if he's interviewed.
I know he's been linked.
Yeah,
but
he's
that's
also
that should get in.
Yeah, he's also in the middle of playoffs, so that's probably why. I think Mike McDaniel is option number one.
Oh yeah,
I think if he's going off the offensive coordinator route, this would be his number one option too. Just thinking Baker, if you can get your wide receivers back, and as well with Todd Bowles probably out the door next year, you're guaranteed the head coaching position. So I think this would be a lock number one for him if he's going offensive coordinator.
My question to you guys is, does your hiring philosophy change for a Bucs offensive coordinator if you think that the guy's going to leave in 1 year? Would you, hire someone who you don't think is as good at the role or not as much of, an offensive guru or going to have as much success if you thought that he'll stick around for multiple seasons?
I think it changes a little bit because I think they just don't want to go through the Cohen thing again or the Canales. And I think probably the biggest thing is like guys like Shieldhouse, however you say his name, passing game coordinator. He has one good season and he's probably already looking to be a head coach. I think you probably go with someone like Mike McDaniel, even Callahan, somebody who was fired. They want to take at least a year or two off from head coaching, kind of before they figure it out again and look for another job. Because I don't necessarily think like with McDaniel or any of these other guys like who have just been fired, like I don't see you wanting to go back right away. It didn't work out your first time. Maybe you want a couple years under your belt, being an offensive coordinator. Like you look at Bowles, kind of the same thing with him. Took him a couple years. He got promoted, but he's been the Bucs DC since 2019. So he had 3 full seasons before he was promoted to the head coach. So yeah, I'd go that route, honestly. Like I think again too, especially if you pay him well, like Mike McDaniel. I think Friday, I don't think you should let him leave.
Yeah,
You shouldn't let him leave Tampa until you got him signed and ready to go. Take him to Burns. Take him to Ybor. Let him party in Ybor a little bit.
Oh gosh, he would like that. You've seen the way that guy looks right now.
Would
He would like
cruising
Ybor.
around Ybor City, man.
Yeah, he fits the persona. Me personally, I would disagree. I don't know if Mike McDaniel is a candidate where you feel like you can have him for multiple years just because he is still so young, and if he has a really good year, he might be a coveted head coach. I mean, he's already interviewing as a head coach for other positions, this cycle. But in my opinion, I think you need to focus on the season in front of you and having the best success for the season. So for me, I would not hire somebody because I think there's a possibility he might, get moved up. I mean, the Bucs have done this, every offseason. That Todd Bowles and his hiring crew and whoever's involved in this process has shown that they're able to find the best coordinators out there, and there's going to be plenty of bright offensive minds available if they have to find a new offensive coordinator because, Mike McDaniel or somebody else did so good this year. So I've more focused on, the season in front of you, be as successful as possible. Don't worry about, potentially losing someone next offseason. That's my opinion.
I think you have to go for the best person on the board. Like thinking of if you're going to sign a young free agent and he's got Scott Boras as his client, you still got to go for him. Like take the best talent that's on the board. And if that's Mike McDaniel, then go for it. If he leaves in a year, you're dumb. You should have fired Todd Bowles.
I still, Mike McDaniel as a leader of a team is just not my favorite thing. I think he's perfect for an OC role. I think I like when a head coach who maybe you don't have the fullest trust of like decisions or culture where we're at with Todd Bowles, which is fair. I think I like when he has another big personality and another person with head coaching experience in the room. That's why I would lean towards a guy like Callahan or Mike McDaniel. I think that would be very valuable for Todd Bowles and this Buccaneers team. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let us know in the comments, who you'd like to see as the Buccaneers offensive coordinator next year. Let us know in the comments how you feel about this Lightning win streak. Are the Lightning going to set that franchise record Friday night, or am I right as a doomer and gloomer? I don't want to be right. I want them to set that record. But as always, subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, like it, follow us on Instagram, follow us on X, and most importantly, have you guys a beautiful and blessed night.